Elasticity of demand. What is it? It refers to how reactive buyers are to changes in prices. Let's say that anything, no, we can say that anything from 0 to 1, not including 1, is inelastic, and anything above and including 1 is elastic. It can be calculated by dividing the change in percent of demand by the change in percent in price. Now, what does elastic and inelastic even mean? Well, elastic means that buyers are reactive to changes in prices. So an example of this can be hamburgers. If McDonald's raises their prices for a Big Mac by $10, buyers will respond by not going to McDonald's and going to, let's say, Wendy's instead because there are many options. When McDonald's raises prices, they lose lots of customers. When we say demand's inelastic, it means that buyers are not very reactive, or in some rare cases, not reactive at all to changes in the prices. An example of this can be schizophrenia medication. Regardless of how the price changes for this, people with schizophrenia would still likely buy it because they need it, which means that these buyers are inelastic. So when the schizophrenia company raises prices, they don't lose that many customers. Now, what are some factors that can influence elasticity of demand? Well, as we saw with the McDonald's example, if we have lots of substitutes, it's easier for buyers to go somewhere else, therefore making demand more elastic. Another factor to keep in mind is if the good is a need or want. As we saw with the schizophrenia medication, it was a necessity. Therefore, people would continue to buy it regardless of the price change to a certain extent. If it was simply a want, like a Rolex, and the price for Rolex rises quite a bit, the company will lose lots of customers. It also depends on how specific we're defining the market. If McDonald's raises their prices, buyers' demand will be elastic. However, if we take McDonald's price change and then look at the fast food market as a whole, it won't cause major changes in demand. So we can say that the general market is less elastic than the specific stores. Next up, the share of someone's income spent is also a factor that can influence demand elasticity. Let's say that the price for something changes by 10 cents. You won't really care because it's just 10 cents. Now let's say it changes by $100. Now you care because it takes more of your income. Lastly, time affects elasticity of demand. Buyers will be more inelastic at the beginning of a price change because they need time to adjust. Let's say that electric scooters that you find outside have been way more expensive lately and you rely on them to get to work. For the next little bit, you'll start using the scooters and you'll continue to use them until you can save up for a bike. As you can see, you're more inelastic in the beginning and became more elastic in the long run. We'll now look at a highly elastic good, Gucci flip-flops. What makes Gucci flip-flops very elastic? Well, taking into account of the factors we just listed, we can say that the share of someone's income is definitely a factor. Since Gucci is already expensive, even a slight raise in price will cause many people who are maybe on the edge of deciding to just change their mind. We can also take into account the factor that Gucci flip-flops are a want and not a need, meaning that people who do not need them can survive without them in their daily lives. People don't need them in their daily lives. I hope you understood what I said, and thank you.